Good morning, Big Rapids. This is Big Rapids Buzz with Chris Long and
Bruce Borkovich. Morning, Chris.
How you doing?
Good. And yourself?
Good. It's Monday morning.
Yeah.
8:30.
Yeah, it is. That's the good thing is it's
On
8:30.
103.9.
Yeah, and our show is starting, but yeah, it's Monday.
Yeah. What'd you do over the weekend?
Not a lot. Just caught up around the house and recover from watching grandkids all week, and that's about it. How about you?
Basically nothing.
It's all right. It's okay. You can do that. This is America, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of America.
Yeah.
It's kind of changed. But anyhow,
Anyway,
we're not going to talk about
that.
Changes in America because we have a couple of special guests tonight.
Yes.
And we're going to start with Mike McNally. Mike is the sales manager at Benton Baker of Big Rapids. And
Didn't the name change? I don't think it's Benton Baker. It's just Baker. Or is it Benton? Which one?
It's in the process of changing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
So
in
we
the
can
process
still
of
say it.
changing. Yes, legally we cannot change the sign yet because there's still a lot of red tape that needs to go through with the manufacturers to make sure that we are able to be Baker Auto Group.
yeah, so that's what it will be, Baker Auto Group.
It will be Baker Auto Group.
Yeah.
Yep. Anticipate probably midsummer, early fall is when all the final red tape will be covered and
But that's
as we
just
get
a
going.
name change. Going to be the same great service, same great place.
service.
I
Yep.
think we need
Just
to
a name
reintroduce him because I kind of interrupted you while you were saying that. Just to
You
get
did.
That, I did. I'm sorry. I do that all
Well,
the time.
I was introducing Mike McNally. You interrupted me.
I did.
That
My
was pretty
bad.
smooth, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was smooth.
Yeah. But Mike, people like to hear the stories. They don't just want to have you tell us the statistics of sales last month. Who are you? Where are you from?
Yeah.
Family, education, all the things you've done wrong. The first time you shoplifted. No.
Oh, no, we're not gonna do that.
We don't have to do that.
All the good stuff.
But tell us.
Live confession over the air was a few weeks ago.
You're done? No, there aren't going to be any more of those?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. You better get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But Mike, tell us who you are.
So I grew up in northern Michigan, born in Traverse City, raised in the Manton area, ventured off a little bit, lived down south by the Detroit area for a couple of years.
Whereabouts?
The South Lyon area, down by Novi, and worked down there doing sales for a website design company. But my home is in northern Michigan, and been here for majority of my life. Married, 2 kids, daughter who's 14 and a son who is 11.
A daughter who's 14.
A daughter who's 14.
Can we all bow our heads for a moment? In respect to Mike having a 14-year-old daughter,
and she's going through driver's training right now.
Isn't
Is she going to get her
special?
first car through you? Brand new?
Probably not brand new.
Boy, Chris, you're putting him on the spot.
Probably not brand new, but
You're not going to have her listen to this.
I will not have her listen to this. That's for sure.
Wow. But anyhow, go ahead.
Yeah, so daughter who's 14, son who's 11, been married for 16 years. My wife is in the banking industry.
Nice.
So we have some paths that cross every once in a while. But been in the car business for 15 years. Started out in northern Michigan, in Cadillac, Michigan, at a dealership there. Spent the majority of my life in time in the car industry in that area. I was a sales manager at Williams Chevrolet up in Traverse City for a while. And then the position came available here in Big Rapids, and I took the opportunity.
So when you got here, what was it called?
It was Benton Baker.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because
So
since
how long
I've
have you been here?
So it'll be 3 years in September.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yep. So
Because when I got here, I was in 13, and it was, I'm trying to remember what it was. I don't know. It's always
Marco.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's always been a good place, Chevy truck. And it was always a good place to stop, always friendly people. I'd stick my head in there and talk to the service guys, and they'd tell me a few things to try and wouldn't charge me a dime. It's always been that kind of place.
Absolutely. Yep.
So any education toward the automotive field, or did you have an interest, or did you just get in there and then start enjoying it?
Yeah, no formal education in the industry. I actually started my work career in the landscaping business, and it was a family-owned business, and it's hard to work for family sometimes.
Yes.
So I ventured out and I started in Cadillac at one of the dealerships there in 2009, and it was probably the worst time to get started in the car business in 2009, but that's when I got my start, and it's been a journey since.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't help but notice your U of M sweater. And I'm sure you're pretty proud. I'm a state guy, but here's what I'm going to say. Here is what I'm going to say.
I can't wait.
That is the best college football team this year I have ever seen, and that is coming from a Spartan. They were amazing.
They had a great team this year, and one of the best teams probably in the last
ever. I'm saying ever. I've followed college football for years and years. I have never seen a team that balanced from position to position.
Yes.
And then I'm sorry to my Spartan brothers and sisters out there. You're not going to like that, but I like that coach.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because a lot of people, there are people, U of M fans, who don't like him. A lot of people don't like him. But here I'm going to get a little bit political. He took a stand, a right to life stand. I was so humbled and impressed because that's a very liberal university. Yes. And he put his job on the line to stand up for what he believes in. And how many people, when they're making millions or have a chance, become corrupted because of, I'm making this much, I could lose it. And he put that on the line and stood up for what he stands for. Yeah. I was so impressed. This is coming from a Spartan. So there you go.
Yeah, he was very boisterous about his background and his views. And there's something to be said about that.
Exactly. That's a very liberal university. And
absolutely.
And but I guess winning those football games counts.
I think
winning helps a lot.
Like that. So I've got a kudos. That is the most powerful, balanced, awesome football team, college football team I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So
it was a good year to be a Michigan fan. Yes, that's for sure.
Yes, it was. So let's talk about the business a little bit. So you're sales manager. How many people work for you?
We have 6 salespeople there. Some that have been there for years. Lenny DeJean has been there for 14, 15 years. Blaine Adams has been there for 12,
Shout
13
out to
years.
Him.
Yeah.
Yep. Help Chris get his beautiful Colorado.
It's a nice truck.
It's a nice truck. Yes. So, and then we have some. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris.
I was going to say his father is running for commissioner.
Yes. I didn't know that.
Yes.
You're talking about Greg Adams.
Yeah. Greg Adams.
Wonderful man.
That's his son.
I'm just getting to know him. He is running for county commissioner. He is a smart man. Mm-hmm. He is a patriot.
Yes.
He is everything I love about living in this part of Michigan and about the people I'm generally around. He's a businessman. He's an engineer. He's a patriot. He believes strongly in what he believes in.
Yes.
And he's running for county commissioner. We are so fortunate. So
back to Mike.
Yeah, absolutely.
No worries, Chris.
I had to do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You got to get that plug in there.
Yeah.
Go, Greg.
So, Mike, here's a question I've always wanted to know, and maybe it varies from dealer to dealer. But when a salesman is working, does he or she work purely on commission? Is it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And for the short and long of it, yes. I mean, we do provide some type of it's called a draw where they will get an advancement on their commission. Yep. So they don't go
so they can buy
weekly,
groceries.
Without anything coming in. But for the most part, it is strictly on commission. And people tend to think that the commissions are huge, but in all reality, a salesperson can spend, days, weeks trying to consummate a deal, and at the end of it, get paid, $150.
Yeah.
And
wow.
That's something that most people don't understand. That it is a purely commission-based position. So
they have to hustle.
They have to hustle for the money they earn. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the one thing that I've noticed in small town America is, people are people have the ability to be really loyal. So, you know, if you live in Grand Rapids or Flint or Detroit, I think, you know, you're going to say, hey, here are the 4 dealers, and hey, who's going to give me the best price? I'll buy it today. They play that game. When you get up, especially with rural people and country people, they want to kind of make a relationship with a dealership, and you know, 5-10 years later, when it's time to get a new one, they want to go back and see the same stuff. Am I right?
Absolutely. You know, loyalty is second to none in our industry. You know, and that's one thing that we pride ourselves on, is taking care of our customers, because we are, you know, the only big game in town. Absolutely. And, you know, within a 30-mile radius, it's we want to be your go-to guy and your go-to stop. Yeah. So we pride ourselves on that. Yeah.
My last 2 vehicles were through you guys. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I said I had a I forget what year it was, but I bought a brand new Chevy truck, and I dealt with you guys several times, and always courteous, polite. You know, just you get the small town feeling, not a big town where they're rushing you in and rushing you out, and you know, what you'll find is the older you get, the more you appreciate that.
Absolutely. You know, we're there for you through the sale and after the sale. Yep. We really want to make sure that our customers are taken care of, not just during the process, but for years to come. Yep. And that's something that you're going to get at Benton Baker or Baker Auto Group in Big Rapids.
That's been my experience, and talking to other people.
And you guys don't at other dealerships. I know when I bought my Dart on the other side of the state, it at the end, after you negotiate everything, then comes the aftermarket sales contracts, this and that, and
extended
warranties and the patch your seat this and everything, and you guys don't haggle with that. No, it's like this is what if you want to keep your payment, this is what you're going to get. If you want to have this is what for this much extra you can have this, and this is what you're going to get. And they just it's not like you're going to need this because this is going to go bad. Oh, this is going to go bad. Well, then I'm not going to go buy that vehicle.
Maybe I should find a different vehicle. Yeah. So here's my pet peeve, and you can tell the factories. Yeah, I had was it a 16? No, wonderful truck. It was amazing, a 4-wheel drive, just an amazing truck. The one complaint, is those rotted out
the rockers.
When is GM gonna make? Do you know why? So you're not gonna like me because I grew up in Flint.
Sure,
I'm a huge GM guy. Always have been. Still are a huge GM guy. I bought a Ford solely because of aluminum body. Is there any talk about GM considering that? Because it's a big deal. It was a big deal for me.
It is a big deal. And, you know, it's a complaint that we've heard dozens of times.
Like you can do anything about it, right?
Like I have any control over that.
You just call the number on your phone and
1-800 GM. Let's go. But there isn't any talk, unfortunately. You know, they haven't seen the value to go in that direction.
It's only a Michigan problem. You can buy a car outside of Michigan. And there's
Arizona, Texas, you're good to go. But
might be a couple other states. But no, that's interesting. I know obviously way beyond your control. As I drive past there, I don't see any electric vehicles. GM, where are they at with that?
Well, we are in the process of getting a couple. We've had a couple, and we're in the process of getting some more. We have the EV Equinox on its way, the EV Blazer on its way, and we've sold a couple of the Bolts.
Okay.
But there's been some holdback with production, and you know, in all honesty, a little bit of holdback for the declining sales.
That's a reality.
It's a reality. Yeah. They're just not. The technology has not caught up to the northern Michigan lifestyle. In the rural areas of northern Michigan. So it once it does, it may be a different story.
Maybe. I still think there's a lot of people who are drilling down and asking those questions. First of all, are they really more friendly to the environment? And I'm not convinced one way or another. I'm not convinced they are, because when you plug that in, someone told me one time, Chris, maybe you could check this, that even in Michigan, 70% of the electricity supplied to the state is coal generated. You know, electricity gets shipped in. So we are plugging a car in charging it up from a coal-generated plant.
Yeah.
And is that
they're not that far
cleaner?
away? Actually, there's one in Reed City and Cadillac, I believe, something like that.
Yeah, but
there's some generation?
The question
Wolverine.
is that cleaner than an internal combustion engine? And I'm not sure anyone's really able to answer that.
We're not experts on that.
It's not a. I wouldn't.
I'm sure there are certain people out there that will say, "Oh, yes, they're an expert,"
and I think there are lots of people
who put their opinion in there
who would say it isn't. It isn't a balance. And what we do know, we could talk about it all night. What we do know is declining sales nationwide, and the other thing is, when I talk briefly, how long have lithium batteries been around? About 1,000 years? No, but I can remember buying lithium batteries, seems like 10, 15 years ago. This is not new technology.
Yeah,
something is knocking on the door, I would think, that is clean and efficient. And,
and once that technology gets there, then, it might be the best thing.
Yeah.
But it's not there yet.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
All of the big three and the rest of the normal car companies, their sales model is like what you have.
Yep.
How do you feel about the Tesla sales model, where there really isn't really a showroom and there's really not sales guys? You just go on your phone, you buy the car, and bippity boppity boo. There is no negotiation. It is what it is. How do you feel about that? Do you think that's going to be expanding outward? Is other people's going to take it? And they're not privately owned either.
Right. Some people absolutely love that philosophy. Some people actually hate the process of buying a car. Coming into the dealership, talking to somebody. We've grown as a society to, rely on right now, with food pickup, with other stuff. Yeah. And some people actually absolutely love that aspect of it. In rural Michigan, they still want, like we said earlier, they still want that salesperson that they had, 5 years ago, and come back and talk to them and get their opinion on what's going on in the market and what's going on in the industry. And so I don't think it'll be a thing that will catch on very fast.
Do you ever have, how much of your sales are from people going online on the GM website and saying, "Yep, I want this car and I'm going to pick it up here"?
Maybe 1%.
So
really,
people around here, especially in these smaller areas, they still want that personal touch.
They still want that personal touch. People will inquire about a vehicle online, and they will start to process online, which they can do here in Big Rapids. And a lot of it has to do with, in Michigan, we don't have electronic forms through the state to, for you to e-sign, as they call it, and, have that vehicle delivered to you. Yeah. That technology with the state of Michigan hasn't evolved enough yet to fully go from start to finish.
You still have to use the dot matrix printer in the back.
We still have to use the dot matrix. Yes. Yep. We absolutely do. Yes. The technology's been around since probably the early 70s. Yep.
You don't need it.
You don't need it.
You
got your iPhone.
I actually took a picture of it because I wanted to look up. I wanted to modify one and get one. They're actually still expensive on eBay. They're like $3,000-$4,000. No, people need it because of the situation like this.
Yes.
Dealerships have to use them in Michigan because it's not internet based it is in other states.
Yep.
Well, maybe
so they have to run the piece of paper through the dot matrix, get it all filled out, then you got to sign it. And so they don't make those printers anymore. Actually, they do. There's a few companies, but they're super expensive. So everyone goes and buys the old ones on eBay.
Well, you know what? Once we fix the darn roads, maybe Michigan can do that. Chris,
that's another subject for another time.
Make some noise.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what.
You got to give me something there. Yeah, maybe wah wah. I like that.
I don't have that one.
You don't have that one?
What's the wah wah wah?
Remember? It's like a horn. There you go.
Fix the roads.
That was perfect. I've been waiting to get that one in there. So I'm guessing COVID and post-COVID, you had the same trouble everyone else with inventory. Has that leveled out? Are you guys, do you get as many vehicles as you'd like to have there?
No, and that's another...
it's really messed up.
It's still really messed up. COVID kind of screwed everything up, obviously.
Unbelievable.
But
Unbelievably.
The chip shortage is what really put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
The chip shortage really drove that home,
Yeah.
and inventory levels were at their all-time lowest throughout the nation.
Your lots looked pretty bare. I remember going there. I was thinking, like, what are you guys closing down? There was like 3 cars on the lot.
It had to be brutal for you.
But now it's all filled, but not as much as before.
It's came back. I mean, there's still logistic issues with getting the vehicles that, did get their chips put in them up to the dealerships.
Yep.
And then we had the strike, the GM strike.
Yes.
And that shut everything down again for almost a month, a month and a half almost. Yeah.
During the switchover for the new vehicle side.
Yeah. During the switchover for the new vehicle side.
Do that.
So that created another shortage. They could probably drop 100 vehicles off on our lot right now, and it would probably not even last till September.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So the demand is still high, and the inventory is still low. And the other thing is, you used to be able to go back and order a vehicle, and from the date you ordered to the date it was shipped off the line and moved into the dealership was probably about 8 to 12 weeks. Yeah. And you could get exactly what you wanted. Now people don't understand that when we put an order in, if there's a constraint for, let's say, a moonroof, that order will never get picked up. It'll just sit there until the constraint is lifted on that specific product or option, and the order will sit there.
Wow.
And then, so it's not like it used to be. You can't just come in and order what you want and get it in a timely fashion. I've had customers wait as long as a year to get exactly what they wanted.
The best route is to hope that it's in some other dealership that's in the family of the
family, right? Yeah. Because they're gonna, the other ones are gonna be protective about their inventory.
Yes, you got to trade them with something that they want.
Yes.
Yep.
And I got a quick question. You can choose not to answer this, but no. Okay, so I know I received the letters in the mail that says, "Oh, you pull the little tab and you'll win these little keys." Are there actual winners? You can say that. You could tell me yes, just to say it, or we could cut this out of the whole show if you don't want to talk about it.
I will be brutally honest with you and tell you that there is actual winners.
Really?
Yes. I think. Well, we haven't had one in a while.
In a while, yes.
It's been over a year.
But it is possible.
But it's possible. I mean,
is there do you guys send them out?
Nope.
And there is a winner in this area, or is it larger? How does this work?
Yeah, we send them out, to, I think we typically do like a 10,000 piece mailer. And, out of that 10,000 piece mailer, there was probably 20, 25 people that actually won
a car,
good prizes.
Oh,
a TV, a flat screen TV, a snowboard, a grill. Various different things.
So I need to start opening those instead of tossing them.
I toss them all out because I'm like, this is a scam. I'm going to
start opening.
This is a scam.
And it's, everything's insured by a third party company.
Oh.
So could somebody actually win the money? Absolutely. Has anybody won the money that I've seen? No.
Yeah. Probably because they threw it away.
You never know. You can't win if you don't play.
What I'm always worried, I think I did. Okay, I'll be honest. I think I did. Either it was up here when I got it, or when I was on the other side of the state getting it from the other dealership.
Yeah.
That I got it, and it said you did win the money. But I'm like, this has got to be a scam. I'm going to go in there. They're going to try to sell me a car. They're not going to want to give me the money. I'm going to spend 8 hours in there arguing to try to get the money, and we're going to settle for something. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
So you just didn't go in.
I didn't go in. I talked myself out of it.
I told you these things go fast.
Yeah.
So this is, always on people's minds. We're coming into spring. Any promotions coming up that you can talk about?
Yeah. So General Motors has some great promotions going on right now with incentivized financing, 0.9. For up to 36 months, which is phenomenal.
That is.
And with the way interest rates are going, they actually have a longer term with some great rates too. I mean, in the 5-6% for 72 months.
Yeah, but 0.9.
0.9 is
that's crazy.
Phenomenal.
What is your highest selling vehicle right now? What do you sell the most of right now?
So probably our biggest turning vehicle is probably the Chevy Equinox. For its reliability, its fuel economy, its overall size, and the technology is in that vehicle is second to none.
Yeah, people like them. It's a kind of a family workhorse.
What would you buy your family? Or what would you buy your daughter if she was a little older and not her first vehicle?
So I've told people this for probably the last year. If I was going to buy a vehicle right now, it'd be a Buick Envision. Those are...
Is that like a little SUV
it's
or kind of a
mid-size SUV?
Yeah.
And it, the technology is phenomenal. The ride is great. The fuel economy is second to none. The other one would be the Chevy Blazer. A little bit bigger, mid-size SUV. But again, such a smooth ride. And, I drive one right now as a work vehicle, and the fuel economy is phenomenal.
Excellent. I'm happy with the truck that I just bought. Guess how much my gas mileage I'm getting on that?
19.
No. I'm getting almost 24 average.
That's
and
awesome.
then the best I've gotten so far is 27. I got a picture. I'll
That's
show
phenomenal.
you after this.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Just don't take 131. Just drive north. If you got to go to Grand Rapids, drive north and drive. You get up to 27 miles per gallon in a truck.
I get it.
I'm telling you. I'll show you the picture.
That's a sharp looking truck. I saw it. I think the day you got it.
Yeah.
And, that's a nice truck. What is that? A 6-cylinder?
No, it's 4.
It's 4. But the technology
it drives like a full size.
It's crazy.
Even though it's a mid-size.
I got to go to your competitor for a second.
Go for it. Yeah.
I have the EcoBoost 6-cylinder twin turbocharged in my pickup truck.
Yep.
It's 380 horsepower.
Yes.
Now I used to work on muscle cars and drag race muscle cars back in the 60s and 70s, and the stuff I ran didn't have 380 horsepower. It's incredible.
Absolutely. It is incredible. What they're doing with technologies on these new vehicles is phenomenal. People are always like, I got to have that V8.
Yeah.
I got to have that V6. I got to have the big engine. It's not the standard anymore.
No.
The standard is the 4-cylinder, and they turbocharge it, and it gets all the horsepower you need, and the fuel economy is there too.
It is. That's the other side of it. Yeah. Well, this has been wonderful meeting you. As I said, I'm an honest person. I've dealt with the dealership over the years, not numerous times, but occasionally, and always been treated with respect.
Yeah.
You can stick your head in and ask a question, and no service manager says, well, it's going to be $100 to answer your question. It's kind of a hometown dealer.
It is.
And I've always appreciated it. The vehicle's the vehicle. It isn't like you get it to the dealership and you make it better. No, Chevy, GMC, Buick made it. It's all about service and
in that personal connection.
Absolutely.
Do you ever have people come in and they talk to the sales guys and they negotiate everything, and then it gets so far, and then the person's like, all right, now you go take this number back to the guy in the glass. You're not in a glass booth, but they're at the building across the street. There is. And does anybody ever go, well, you go take this to him. He's the one I want to talk to, not you.
Yeah.
They just get so far with the sales guy, and then they're like, you're just a peon. Move on to the next guy. Does that happen still?
Oh, absolutely.
Does it get anywhere? Or do you guys just laugh while they go in the office?
So what people don't realize is, I'm a no BS kind of guy. If somebody says, give me your best price, I'm going to give you my best price.
They don't even ask again.
Don't ask again. Yeah. Okay, now I know you can do a little bit better. No, you asked me for my best price.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
So I try to deal like that. I've been like that for the time I've been in the business, and 9 times out of 10, I'm going to earn your business because, I'm upfront and direct.
Being straight with
I'm
people.
being straight. Yep.
Well, speaking of straight, this is going to take us straight into a break, but we've been speaking with Mike McNally
Shut
here.
Him down.
Sales. Well, we have to do that. I have to transition. That wasn't very smooth, but I did
it wasn't.
I did it.
Okay.
Fix the darn roads. But we've been talking to Mike McNally. He's the sales manager at Benton Baker, soon to be known as the Baker Group.
Auto Group.
Baker Auto Group. They're good people. I have dealt with them. It's a good hometown dealership. Yeah. Mike, we appreciate you coming in, and thank you.
Thank you.
And we hope the rest of your Monday here is good. Yeah. We're going to go to a break. We're going to continue with another person after these messages from our local sponsors of the Big Rapids Buzz. You are listening to WBZX Big Rapids on B1039. You are listening to WBZX Big Rapids on B1039, the Big Rapids Buzz. Chris, you hanging in there? You doing okay?
I'm trying.
That's all I do.
What happened with the eclipse last week?
I don't know. We stayed in the house.
You didn't even go outside?
No.
I went all the way to Maine.
Did you really?
Yeah, I didn't tell you, did I?
No.
I did. I drove all the way to Maine. I made a decision on Sunday afternoon. We were supposed to go to Indiana, and Indiana ended up having bad weather. And so that was like 2:00. We found that out. And I said, all right, well, the only place in the U.S. that is sunny in the path of totality was Maine. So we got in the car and we left.
So did you see it?
Of course we did.
Did you take pictures?
You can't take pictures and make it turn out good. I took pictures, but it all turns like crap.
Yeah.
So we we drove 14 hours through Canada, because if we drove through the U.S., it would have been 25 hours.
Wow. Well, I don't know what to say. I don't think
and
you
then
want
I
to hear
drove
what
all
I
the way
have to
back.
say. Yeah.
You know the distance?
No.
The distance is like 1,000 miles, 998 miles or something like that. That's the same distance from here to Florida. So basically, we drove the distance from here to Florida for a 3-minute event in the sky.
How'd that work out for you?
I thought it was great.
Okay.
And hey, this is the second time I've seen it. I went down to Hopkinsville and saw it.
Wow.
It's exciting. It really is awesome. If you ever saw an actual total eclipse, Bruce?
I think when I was a kid, yeah, and we would stare right at it, and it hardly affected me at all.
That explains a lot about you now. I totally understand now.
Yeah. I think I've been perfectly normal ever since.
Well, the next one is in 2026 in Iceland, and so I might book a flight and
Nice.
go. Yeah.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, make it a third time.
Yeah, what could go wrong? Well, listen, we're not here to talk about the
you're
eclipse.
right. You're right.
We're here, it turns out, so with an acquaintance of mine, the problem is I only knew her by her first name, but we have the owner of Purely Clean Services.
Another sponsor.
And it turns out when she came to the door, it's Lisa. And of course, we have Lisa McCarthy, but we both worked at Ferris together. And I was like, well, there you go again.
So this whole time, you didn't know.
Yeah, I think this is all because of watching the eclipse when I was a kid. Back then the governor said, fix the darn sun. But, now I think that's why I'm like I am, because of the eclipse back then. But our parents used to, if we weren't having a good day, they'd tie us to a tree with our head up, and after a while you'd get tired of keeping your eyes closed, and you had to open it, and there's the eclipse.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it was a tough time back then. Played all our football games without a helmet. It was tough. But anyhow, that's not why we're here.
Right.
Lisa, you have, so you are no longer at Ferris, and you have a business, and I intentionally didn't drill down into exactly what you do, because I didn't want to, pollute it or do it wrong. So, but before we find out exactly what your business, tell us about you a little bit. You're 23 years old.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Is that good?
Yeah.
How am I doing? Good.
Amazing.
Yeah. Might need a sound effect, Chris.
I'm just trying to keep the volumes of the mic up.
I understand.
What happened?
No, you don't have to tell us how old you are, but tell us who you are, where you're from, and how you got to us this morning.
Well, I'm born and raised. I'm a townie.
In Big Rapids?
Hey, really?
Yeah,
Nice.
Graduated in 2000.
Nice.
Then shortly after that, started working at Ferris. Was at Ferris for 20 years. And then some stuff happened and decided to...
Stuff happened. Are you just going to do
going to
that?
talk about it or no? I mean, Ferris is not one of our sponsors, so I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to bash them, go ahead.
No. I'm married. We have a 3-year-old son. He's going to be 4 in May.
Oh, my goodness.
In 2019, we lost our house to a house fire.
Oh.
COVID hit. Nobody wanted to come out. And,
right.
So everything's been prolonged. And then we're at the final stages of the house. Wanted to get it finalized. Needed some money to get it finalized. So went to the banks and, because banks don't want to work with anybody who won't work with a general contractor to save some money.
Yep.
So wanted to dip into my retirement a little bit. And unfortunately, my employer wasn't allowed to do that. I guess some contract.
Oh.
So if you're working there, you can't borrow your money, unfortunately.
Wow.
So I told my husband, everything happens for a reason, and jumped in and
The only way
started
to
my business going, and it's doing very well so far. So I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, there's some companies out there that won't allow you to borrow from your 401k. Was it a 401k?
Yep.
Wow, yeah. They have some
Interesting.
setups like that. So the only way to do it is quit your job, then you have access to it. You could go back.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I thought when you said some things happened, I thought something bad happened. Anyway, Ferris, if you're willing to sponsor, we're still open to sponsors. We didn't say anything bad.
What it was, Chris.
But Bill don't like me.
The police chief there chased her out.
Oh.
He was just awful.
Who was that? Wait, that was you.
But see, I'm glad he only knew me by my first name.
Never mind.
Eclipse.
Never mind. I was kidding. Oh, man, I forgot that was me. Oh, Lisa.
What did you do at Ferris?
Custodial.
Oh.
Yep, did cleaning.
Oh. Well, that ties into right exactly what your business.
Let's jump right into it. What is Purely Clean Surfaces? What do you do?
Clean.
All right. Excellent. Well, Lisa, we were glad you came tonight, and we're going to close this show down.
What does she do?
And we're going to close the show down, and it's great to get some of these details to drill down in and clean the darn house. And that's good. Thanks for coming.
All right, show's over.
Listen,
she cleans. That's all she does.
I always really liked Lisa because when you'd see her at work, you'd have these same interactions. She was a fun person, bubbly and fun, and with a great sense of humor. But we would like to maybe another 2-3 words with that.
So with anything with cleaning, there's a sweeping, mopping, vacuuming, hardwood floors, vinyl tile, walls, ceiling, vents, lights.
Is it commercial and residential, or just commercial?
Right now, I'm just focusing on commercial.
Yeah, that's probably where the big money's at.
Yep. And one of the things I was curious about, so after a fire, after a flood or anything, do you do any type of that restorative cleaning?
Not quite yet.
But something you might be looking at?
Yeah, absolutely. We have the capabilities.
Yep.
If it happens, must do it.
Yeah.
What's your service area?
I'm open right now.
So you'll go anywhere.
Not Ohio. I don't want to go out of state.
Okay.
I want to stay in Michigan.
Okay.
Good idea.
Perfect.
What about like Madagascar, Fiji?
Oh, yeah.
Anything like that?
Yeah,
As long
when I
as
go
it's
on
warm.
vacation. Absolutely. When it's like, you guys take this, I'm going over here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
All day.
Yeah. Excellent. That's good to know.
But I would say the downfall with being a clean person, you see things in a whole different level.
Yeah.
It's like you go to a restaurant, I'm like, oh, no, I'm good.
You know, this is terribly disgusting, but I'm going to say it anyhow. Recently, we were traveling with our friends, and we down to Florida, and we stopped. And I'm trying to do this as gently as I can. I'm sorry, Jen, forgive me, but in the men's bathroom, someone tried to get undressed before they did something, and it was like a shotgun blast right above the toilet, and I almost was going to have my buddy take a picture of me standing there and say, boy, I barely made it to the toilet, and then send it to all my friends. And I'm glad I didn't, because this is what happens when you're a kid and you stare at the sun during an eclipse. You do things
We're
like that.
going to get kicked off the radio if you continue this.
Chris, this could be our last show.
Last show.
This could be our last show. All joking aside, you're doing commercial businesses, and we know that when people will go into a public or whatever, they don't take care as they would at their home, and they do some pretty nasty stuff.
There was some nasty stuff I saw when I went down to Florida on our trip 12 years ago for senior spring break down to Panama City Beach. And we stopped at one gas station. I opened up the door and I immediately closed it. They were doing there was some nasty stuff that had been done.
Yeah.
Have you?
Things.
Yeah.
There was writings on the wall with things that it's just, why? Why do people do it? Do you know, or do you just have to clean it up?
Boredom.
I think there's mental health problems.
I don't remember if it was a TikTok video, but there was a video of a custodian gentleman having issues with little girls kissing the mirrors. And so Have you seen that or heard
No.
about that? So,
No.
and I'm sure it was like a joke or whatever. But during that process, he kept saying to them, like, somebody's got to stop making these girls kiss the mirrors, because they'd put their lipstick on and kiss the mirror and think
Okay.
it's the coolest thing. So he wanted to set it up to where they had it showed the girls how long it took him to clean it. So he took the Johnny mop, which is what we call as a toilet bowl cleaner, and put it in the toilet, and then went to the mirror and cleaned it. And all the girls were like, so it stopped. We don't clean it like that.
Brilliant.
But I'm like, that's amazing.
That is awesome.
That is
That's so
double
good.
level, near triple level thinking. That is beautiful.
Yeah, and I can't remember. I think it was a TikTok video or a commercial or something.
No, yeah.
And
I haven't
just
seen it, but
I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, that's like the
That
big
is
Uno
brilliant.
reverso on those people.
Yeah.
Those girls are just wiping their lips.
Oh my
believe
gosh.
it. Yeah.
That's. I'm. So you have some employees? Are you growing?
Yeah, we have a few
Tell us-
employees.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Are you like most other employees? Are you having or employers? Are you having trouble finding help?
Or keeping.
No, and the only
Good.
reason I'm saying that is because the ones I have are amazing.
That's great.
And I won't do something that they won't do.
That's
and they won't do
great.
something that I won't do.
That's
It's
great.
like,
Great.
if you're
Great
not feeling
leadership.
good, I got you.
Yep.
If I'm not feeling good, they got me.
Yep.
I just like that openness. I want them
Yeah.
to feel like they are 100% part of my company.
Yep.
It's not just, oh, you're an employee.
Yep.
Okay.
They
you know,
take
hey,
a
if you
little
can't-
ownership.
Yeah, if you can't make it in, I get it. I
Yeah.
got you. You're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Do you have any like crazy stories from when you were either now or before about things that have happened? Oh, you do?
probably can't say it on air.
We can always
You
beep it
mean-
out.
We can
You
always
mean,
leave it out. I got my hand on the thing. Yeah.
You mean like coming in? Like,
Like
and
things you
working
might
cleaning
in?
up.
find. Things you might find.
Well, you
What's
know,
the most bizarre thing you found in the bathroom while cleaning up?
Clothing that may have been used instead of toilet paper. Anything like
well,
that.
you've had those where you've cleaned out the ladies'
Yeah.
linen area, and they must have had an accent because
Yeah.
they're poopy underwear
Yeah.
in there. It's
Oh,
like
She said
I
poopy.
said poopy. I didn't say.
No, you said poopy, and that's okay. It's
So-
there's two O's in there. It's multisyllabic. It's a great word. It rolls off the tongue.
Okay.
Oh, excuse that.
Yeah,
The roll
really
off the tongue
rolls.
thing.
We just lost a
that's
bunch
a-
of listeners.
That is a bitter pill to swallow right there, and I shouldn't have said that. But
No, you come into things every single day. Toilets just suck.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
How many toilets? If you had to count, how many toilets have you had to unclog?
Oh, that's a plumber's job.
Yep.
That's not a custodian's job.
Yep.
Oh,
There's
so
there's
So
someone
when
who
we're
worked for a
flowing and
union.
stuff, you just.
There's a Ferris employee who worked for a union.
I see. Okay.
No, so I mean, we try.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
that's above my pay grade. God bless them plumbers.
Yep.
But we will get that toilet seat clean.
There you go.
That toilet seat is perfectly
So,
clean.
so the majority of your work right now is commercial.
Correct.
However, your plan is to be more available for residential, because I
Yeah.
know a lot of people, especially they kind of get like to my age and
Which is 29?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
That's younger than me.
Because I know
Yeah.
it's just a little bit above me, but not far.
Yeah, I'm 29. Yes, and but no, they really do get to that point where let's face it. Traditionally, in most households, most of the cleaning falls on the wife. That traditionally, not all that can change, but most of it. And my wife now, I'm 65. My wife, I think she's 27. Right, honey? And so she's been cleaning the house for 7 years. And but you do get to that point where you're a little more comfortable financially and you want to do things and spend time with grandkids or travel. And it's like, gee, I'd love to find someone to clean. But I'll be honest with you, Lisa, sometimes it's really hard to find someone
It is.
someone you trust because you're bringing them into your house.
Yep.
Sometimes, sometimes when you're not there, you have to have full trust with
Yep.
them. Yeah.
Yep. And those, we are open to having residential. I do have a few clients right now that I do on my own and help them out because they got graduation coming. So it's like I'll get done with my job and then I'm like, okay, well, shoot up on Fridays or Saturdays and get that done. my only thing right now is, still rebuilding that house.
Yeah.
It's like we want to get it done. So, once that's done, then I know more things are going to open up a lot bigger. And, keep bringing in more clientele.
Yeah.
But definitely, I used to do that for years, is clean residential houses and work at Ferris at the same time.
Yeah.
And it did. I had a great clientele built up, but it got to be so much, at certain points. I'm like,
3-year-old, my goodness, that's full time.
Oh yeah. And when I clean, I turn around, I'm like, what happened?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I know I cleaned.
Absolutely.
And there's my son.
Yep.
Smiling away. I'm like, I love you.
Yes, I have to. The law says I have to. But, I think one of your advantages, you're a local girl.
Yeah.
You worked at Ferris. I know of you. You're a very trustworthy person. I think that's huge because, again, there are going to be times when maybe, we're not home. Can you stop and, clean the house? That's a big deal, having someone in your house.
Absolutely.
So I would also think, excuse me, staffing wise, it's going to take some more people. But again, once you get the house, it sounds like you're close on the house.
Yep. Drywallers are coming in next week. So it's been 4 years of
coming.
we're ready.
Wow.
We're so ready. But it's a blessing. I'm like, a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, you lost your house. I'm like, yeah, it sucked, but it made us look at life way different.
Yeah.
There's
what
a lot
was the cause of the
things.
fire?
I do believe electrical.
Yeah.
Oh.
We had an outdoor wood stove, and I know they were focused on that one. But we literally just cleaned everything. And when you look back at the house, the one thing I thought of is we had an extension cord that was hooked up to the back of the house to the blower part of the fire or the wood stove.
Yep.
And that's the main part that was like just charred.
Okay.
And so they never really came back. Like the fire marshal from Grand Rapids came up, and like he even said it wasn't the wood stove. The wood stove was very clean. I'm like, I know, I just cleaned it. Like
the blower to the
so that's hooked up.
Yeah.
Yep. So the extension cord, and we
had
it for 5 years.
Extension cord?
A what?
Was it a thinner extension cord? Or
No, it was a heavy duty one, but we had it out there for 5 years, and I never thought.
And the weather, the ultraviolet light, sunlight is terrible on
and
things.
The eclipses.
The eclipse. Let me tell you what the eclipse does to the brain.
We know.
It's
We know.
incredible.
Let me tell you, it does to a cord.
Yeah, you can imagine what's going on up here. Yeah, I got things going on up here, and anyhow.
Yeah.
So something you're looking to grow here.
Absolutely.
I can see you eventually in a beautiful mahogany walled office with a beautiful walnut desk with your feet up on it, sipping a martini, and you've got a couple servants rubbing your feet, bringing you more drinks, and you're answering the phone left and right. And we've got to
I understand what he means
prices
now by the eclipse.
Yeah,
has messed with him.
So I'm like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
That would be amazing, but I'd still feel like I would
you're
have
a
to
worker.
stay work, and I'd be like, I'd feel guilty. Like there's times I've taken time off, and my workers have picked up, and I'm like, how'd it go? They're like, stop, we got him.
Yeah.
Like, I know. Okay,
Mom.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, just want to make sure everything's good. You guys are good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So rough idea, how many people working for you?
Just under 6.
Oh,
wow.
Excellent.
Wow.
Excellent. And you're hanging on to them. You're retaining them.
Yep.
Excellent.
That's great.
You must take care of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So here's a question: when your house is done, who's going to clean it the first time?
My husband.
Excellent.
Sorry, hon.
Excellent.
He's gonna be like, really?
That's neat. So, I mean, is the ultimate goal to make this a bigger business?
I would like to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like where we're at right now. But yeah, definitely to have it bigger. And if I could sit back, but definitely still help out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to fully sit back because I don't think I could ever do that. Just chill.
But as you said, you're a pinch hitter, someone's sick or whatever, and a job needs to be done. There's a business needs to be done.
What's the most difficult thing that you have to encounter, that you have to clean? What are the thing that you just hate about it? It seems like...
Well, I see the wheels turning right now.
Yeah.
Chris, get ready to beep this one.
All right, I got it.
All right, Lisa,
fingers on the trigger.
The poop.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
The ones where it's like, they obviously had a left gas cramp because it's all over on the right-hand side of the
Is that a real thing?
It is.
Are you serious?
I mean, think of yourself. You never had a gas cramp?
Yeah, but I've never looked at I've never been directional, about it.
Leaning over.
Man.
I now that you say that, I guess. But like, I don't.
I've got a visual now that. Oh my gosh!
I'm sorry, listeners.
Yeah.
Good thing y'all ate breakfast.
I'm gonna have to go watch.
It's 8:30. They're eating breakfast, and then some of them are drinking coffee.
Chris, I'm gonna have to go watch CNN to get this out of my head. Get that picture out of my head. Oh, you know what? It's good that you said poop because last show I said poop, and I feel better about it now.
You're not allowed to say poop.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, you can say it.
We definitely said it too many times.
Listen. My granddaughter, the 2-year-old, the other day. Maybe I told the story, but I'm gonna tell it again. She was doing something here, and kind of good-naturedly, I was like, "Hey, who's in charge here? Aren't I in charge?" She says, "No." I said, "Who's in charge?" She says, "Me." I says, "They call me Pa." I said, "Then who is Pa?" She looked at 2-year-old, looked at poop. And then you realize once you become a grandfather, you're the lowest thing on the totem pole. Your daughter, her family, the kids, your wife, everyone's in front of you, and you at 65 years old, when you're taking care of your grandkids, you are poop. But anyhow, I'm learning to live with it.
Well, maybe if you let them outside during the eclipse.
Oh my goodness, my daughter would have. My daughter, like, she's the ultimate mother. She's such a good mom. She had a great role model with my wife, but she is such an amazing mom. And she had to tell me 4 times, Chris, the day of. Now, if you do this, make sure this, and you're not going to take it outside, but do you know where you can get any of those really good sunglasses? And I finally just, listen, we're not going outside. You can relax. But she's such a good mom.
Someone said we didn't do the eclipse either, obviously working in the house. But they said back in the day they used to use a glass of water, and you just watch the water because you'd have the sun would like reflect in it, and you could see it.
See the
I
image?
saw a TikTok of that, but I'm trying to understand how you're not getting blinded by the reflection off the water.
Well, yeah, that makes sense though, Chris, because I was the youngest. We have 5 kids, youngest of 3 boys. That makes sense now because when I was a kid, my brothers would hold me underwater for quite a while at the eclipse time. And I can remember a couple times right before I passed out, I could look up and see the sun.
Oh, gosh.
And so that all makes sense now. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it was, I'll be darned. So, Lisa, how does someone get a hold of, are you on social media?
You mean Bookface?
I have my book face just underneath my name. So it's just underneath my name.
Which is?
What is
Lisa McCarthy.
Let's say it again one more time. I
Lisa
interrupted.
McCarthy.
Oh, I did it again. Keep going.
Lisa McCarthy. I think he likes me saying my name.
Can you say poop?
Yeah, poop.
Yeah,
don't
good.
say it.
So you're on social media underneath your name, phone number for the business, because people listen to this, and I guarantee you there are people, whether it's home or business, who are looking for someone trustworthy.
Yeah. And
I can attest to that, trustworthy to come into their home. So how do they get a hold of you?
My phone number is 231-660-6775.
One more time.
231-660-6775.
And your name?
Lisa, and the company is Purely Clean Services.
Purely Clean Services. Yep. Serving primarily Mecosta County at this time.
Yep.
But as you grow, that could grow. Yeah. But better to do it well within our county than spread yourself too thin.
Local first.
Local first. Well, we have really enjoyed having you here. Anything else you want to say? Any more slang words? Potty, poo-poo.
We're keeping number 2.
Number 2.
Number two. Much
safe.
better. Much safer.
Yeah. Number 2 is good. Well, thank you. And as you get bigger, we might have to have you back on the show, and maybe you're expanding. I'm doing this now, or maybe you'll get into, restorative services after a fire, after a flood, something like that.
Yeah.
As a sponsor, have we said anything on the show? Do you listen to our show? And have we said anything that you're offended for being a sponsor? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, you can't offend me.
Okay.
It's true.
There's been a couple times I haven't been able to, because I do believe we were working in the house and I don't have a radio. All we had is my husband actually got a new radio, but it's a Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and battery operated. So like if something was to go awry, like a backup. So now we can get it when I'm in the
And I
house
know I'm
doing stuff.
behind on the podcast. I know. I need to get up on getting
Chop.
I know. I'm sorry.
You know, there's people do like iHeart, so
I
they'll
know.
like crank right onto that.
I know. There's so much number 2 going on. And
Number 2. There you go. It always.
Get that gas cramp out.
There's so much.
You know,
number 2
I have
going
a
on,
visual
and I
in my
need
head now.
to get the podcast. I'm behind on multiple shows updating the podcast.
Well, maybe.
See, I've been listening to him, so I can't get on you now.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you need to turn sideways. And,
It's a visual we see daily.
It's a visual. Yeah, I've got to.
Daily. It's like
I've got
really?
to do something horrible like watch CNN just to get that vision out of my. Ooh, Jen, can I say that? Can I say CNN? I did. Ouch. Ouch. That hurt. Well, anyhow, thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
And I
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
You're a character. And I mean that in a very good way. I knew you at Ferris, and you always had a smile.
I can't believe you didn't know the name. Come on, man.
I didn't know your last name. I knew you were.
But see,
Lisa.
that's kind of a good thing.
Did you know
right?
who he was?
Yeah.
I did.
Oh.
But it's a good thing that
Yeah.
he didn't really know
That's
me, right?
true. Because I was
didn't know me.
I was a tyrant, wasn't I?
No.
I wasn't.
I'm just saying, you know, I never got in trouble. So,
You-
well, I just never got caught.
I was just gonna say, have you ever done anything wrong?
Oh.
Yeah. Have you ever done anything wrong?
No.
All right. I think it's about time to talk about
Do you have a website?
some community
No,
stuff.
I don't.
No.
Would you like one?
Are you going to help me?
No, I'm not.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, I
That's it. He is so fired from this show.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll help you. I'll point
would
you in the
love
correct direction.
I am like not a tech savvy person. I have lock on my phone and my kid can unlock it. I don't get it.
Bingo.
I'm
I
like,
am a
how did he do that?
3, right?
He called 911 once and I hung up and I realized don't ever hang up and call back. I'm like, that was my kid. I'm sorry.
Yep.
It was unlocked.
Yep. I'm sorry. I was sitting
like
sideways.
going,
I had a gas bubble.
No, I know.
Yeah.
He is my gas.
We'll
bubble.
get you a website set up.
There you
Sweet.
go.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right. How about some community stuff? The Mecosta County Youth Academy is accepting applications. Big Rapids, Mecosta County Youth Academy accepting applications for their camp in July. It's for boys and girls aged 12 to 14, July 15th through the 19th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Academy will focus on several things: teamwork, physical fitness, defensive tactics, firearm safety, first aid, fire safety. These are really, really cool. They're taught by area police officers and firefighters. So if you are interested in this is a great experience for your kids, you can contact Officer William Sell at the Big Rapids Department of Public Safety. You can email him at WSELL@BigRapidsDPS, all one word, BigRapidsDPS.org, or you can call 231-527-0005. So think about that. That's a really neat activity during the summer and could possibly be a career path for someone. We're always going to plug our good friend, Congressman John Molnar, who was announced running again. He's been so instrumental in our fight here. We're not going to talk about our fight. I'm not going to mention one word tonight, Chris, about our fight against Goshen. I'm not going to do it. You can't make me do it.
You just did.
Chris, I refuse to talk about Goshen tonight.
Yeah.
This is just fun, and we are not talking about the fight, the dog
Are you
fight
sure
that
you
we're
didn't
in.
go outside during that eclipse?
I
again?
went out for a little while. No, all joking aside, the first time I spoke with him, and he's a U.S. congressman, higher level.
You missed the interview with him.
Yes, but the first time I talked with him, he stares you in the eyes, and it doesn't matter who you are, how little you are, or what you have to talk about. I've never had an elected official like that stare you in the eye and actually listen to what you're saying. I was so impressed. He's a good human.
Yes.
And so anyhow. And he has a federal resource fair Tuesday, April 23rd from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at the Montcalm Community College. If you're interested, room G129, Montcalm Community College, room G129.
On what day again?
And that is on Tuesday, April 23rd
Okay.
from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. If you're interested in joining Rotary Club of Big Rapids, you can find them on Facebook. at Rotary Club of Big Rapids or stop by the lower level of Artworks building on Tuesday at noon. Remember, the first 2 lunches are on them. Misiola Curry Comfort Home is teaming up with Two Hats Ranch for their Shooting for Comfort sporting clay events. If you've never been out to Two Hats, I'm telling you, you're missing something. You've got to get out there. It's the most beautiful place in the Bettis family. You know, if you look up the definition of salt of the earth, you're going to see the Bettis family, a picture of the whole family there. They are wonderful, wonderful people and community members. But anyhow, so this event is May 17th. It includes ammunition. So sporting clay, if you don't know what it is, that's shooting your shotgun at clay pigeons, but it's a lot more fun because it's a sporting clay range. That includes ammunition, golf cart, and lunch. You can get your 4-person team registered by going to their website, the MisiolaCurryComfortHome.com, or if you have questions, 231-287-2208. The ARC, the Animal Rescue Coalition, is a nonprofit no-kill shelter. They always need donations of food and toys. They are Mecosta County's only shelter, so remember to adopt, don't shop. And remember, any pet is a lifetime commitment, so take it seriously. Each animal they have needs a forever home.
We should have her on the air.
We should. She is a dedicated...
Yes.
She is dedicated, you know, a big part of her life to this. Where will you go anywhere where people don't say, yes, we need an animal shelter? It's a wonderful thing. Yeah. Who as a human would come forth and say,
stuff that she
we
does
don't,
for those
what
animals.
they do for the compassion and care for those animals, and then ultimately, you know, finding a home for those animals. What a cool circle that is, right?
I'll
to get
make
them
some
in.
phone calls and see if she can come on.
That would be fun. She's a very smart person. She's very nice. She has a very nice, calm demeanor, and she's a good person. So that would be a good guess.
Yeah.
Gilbert's Carpet Plus Color Tile has their red, white, and blue Dream Floor Award, where you can vote for a facility in the listening area to win a new floor for their facility. And if they win a new floor, you might be able to come in and clean it for them. Go to gilbertscarpetsplus.com/Dream Floor Award and find out those details. Yeah. Good idea. So again, we'd like to thank our sponsors. First of all, Benton Baker of Big Rapids and Mike McNally visited with Mike earlier. What a cool guy.
Yes.
You talk to him and you think, I'd like, exactly. I'm an honest guy. So if you say, give me your best price, I'm going to come back with one price, and that is my best price. You don't need to ask me again because it's not going to get any lower.
Yeah.
And he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
I would encourage people to at least go down and talk.
Not your
to
typical
folks.
car sales guy.
Nope. And very importantly, Purely Clean Services.
Who's that?
With Lisa.
Oh,
Lisa
is that
McCarthy.
Lisa? Is that Lisa?
Lisa McCarthy. She's got the.
I was number 2 today.
She has. You were number 2. You were number 2 without tipping one way or another.
Aren't I supposed to get a button?
Oh,
yeah, that deserves one.
Let's see.
Maybe you're doing something wrong.
That could be. Maybe you're doing something wrong. But you may be number 2 as guest list, but you're number 1 for us.
I appreciate it.
So, yep. That's awesome. How about Sue Bean at Big Rapids Realty?
Well, that deserves another one.
It does. Sue's a neat lady. If you don't know her, go see her at Big Rapids Realty. Bearton Firearms Training Center, my friend Casey and his staff. Gilbert's Carpet Plus Color Tile, along with other supportive people and businesses from the community. We want to thank each and every one of you for getting behind our show. If you'd like to sponsor our show, and folks, this is how it works. You know, these things don't happen for free, but if you'd like to sponsor our show, get a hold of the Big Rapids Buzz and call your best friend Jen here at B1039 at 231-796-1103, and she'll get you started. And if you're a sponsor, I think there's probably a pretty good chance you will get to sit across from us and talk about number 2.
It is not too late to do the right thing.
Exactly. Thank you, Chris.
Please support us.
This is excellent.
He's over there wanting to hit those buttons the whole time.
I encourage him to do that.
You just kept talking. I was going to say that you just kept talking.
Well, you have to wait for the right break.
Yeah, and there was no break.
I did, because you ended up playing it.
Yeah, but you said it too.
Patience.
You kept talking.
Patience. Be like the vulture, sitting over the poo-poo. Just
oh,
wait.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. But seriously, if you do sponsor, then we'd love to have you on as a sponsor. And this is a nice small community, and people like the personal touch. They like to find out who they're doing business with. So,
yes.
So listen again next Monday at 8:30 a.m. for Big Rapids Buzz with me, Bruce Borkovich, and
Chris Long.
the Big Rapids Buzz.
See ya.